Hey, it's Johnny Covey, the author of The 5 Habits of the Heart and the creator of the Head to Heart Framework. Welcome to habit number 3, which is be present. This is really right in the middle habit where you're really diving into going from your head to your heart. So I call the Head to Heart Framework a few different things. One is head to heart. The other is, choose your experience. The other one is just be present, because when you're being present, you're doing the whole framework. So I'm going to walk you through the framework. So if you can have it in front of you, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with some of the descriptions of some of the words and phrases of the framework itself. So when we have an experience in the present, we get to choose. Do we go to our head to protect or our heart to progress? So which one are we going to choose? When we go into our head, our thoughts, what we're thinking is fight or flight. So, and when we have for example, that fight is all about protecting by fighting back. The flight is, I got to get out of here, but it's there to protect you. When we have those kinds of thoughts, the feelings that come with them are we feel wrong and we feel alone. So wrong is often we feel wrong, so the fight is I'm going to make you feel wrong. The flight is alone, which is I'm going to withdraw. When we feel that, what we actually do is control. That's the fight. That's the you're wrong. Or we seek comfort, which is, okay, I got to get out of here. I feel alone, and seek some kind of comfort. So when we go through that cycle, often we get stuck in that process. Same experience, into our head, we feel wrong or alone, whatever. We go through our same pattern, and the whole time our conscience, through our feelings of wrong and alone, is saying, change, this is not healthy. You deserve more. And because you are of worth, because you're accepted where you're at, these thoughts that you're having about yourself, they're not respectful. You're not being your best. And so when we're present, we recognize that in the head, and then we can choose to go into our heart. So the other option is when we're in our heart, we can progress. We're using the thoughts, using your imagination intelligence, imagination, our right side of our brain, or intelligence, the left side of our brain. We're able to feel of worth and accepted. So what we do is we consciously create. We're using our brain and using that creative spark within us, that ability to think through things and understand, to see, okay, here's where I could go. Here's what I could do next time. So when you're in your head, to become present is not just like a logical, like, oh, this is what's happening and I'm going to choose differently. Like, being present is actually not only the thought side, but the feeling side, to actually feel and express what you're feeling. That's how you get out of your head into your heart. So, an example I like to give, when we're in our head, we're feeding ourselves like literally thoughts that are poisonous. Just like I've had food poison before. And my body revolted and said, don't put any more of that in you. So, the food I had was actually bad. So it actually was like I got really sick. But it's happened to me in the same sense that I taste some food and my body's like, no, don't keep eating this. Something's off here. So we have all these systems in us that protect us. Our conscience is no different. It protects us from unhealthy things. And, if you've overeaten or you've had food poisoning, sometimes it's got to come out before you can actually, put something healthy in. So it's okay to go through that process and to express yourself, those feelings of feeling wrong, feeling alone, in a healthy way, by yourself, being present, so that then you're open up to listen to your heart and say, okay, what's the truth? Okay, who really am I? Am I of worth? Am I accepted? Actually discover the truth of that by being respectful, being your best, and the whole process is being present. So as you can see with that framework, and there's so much to it, and I don't know if you're overwhelmed by it, so many words, or if it's, oh, I totally get it. But at its simplest level, I'm consciously creating. At its basic level, because I'm in the dupe, that's what I'm doing. And over, I'm listening to conscience, moving it over and over. As you can see, even now, so far, I've gone through the process a little bit deeper each level, because we're all doing this. I want you to become present. Where are you doing this process? At some level, I think you are. At some level, I just believe that you're in your head and moving in your heart. Or there's some areas you're in your head and some areas you go right to your heart. I want you to think through, where are those areas? And when you recognize them, you can then start to choose something different. But once again, it's not a theoretical. You have to experience. It's got to shift the way you think, feel, and do something. So I'll get that in a little later on some practices to get there. But start recognizing it and pick one or two areas. If you want to write about, that's one of the best ways. But this is the mentoring of where could I become present and choose to move forward. So do that right now, and we'll take you to habit 4, which is to be restored.